Let's bring in campus reform reporter Emily Sturge. Right? Sturge. I get it right? Sturge.
Thank you so much for having me.
Pleasure to see you. Thanks for coming on. And my good pal, DeRoy Murdoch, Fox News contributor extraordinaire. Okay. I thought Laura was really great on that point. You got people on the left who don't believe in traditional American values, do not believe in the traditional greatness of America, do not believe in the potential future greatness of America. You know, I lived through it in the Reagan years. Reagan had this fabulous vision of what this country could do, and he was right. Trump has this fabulous vision of what he can do, and he's right. Elon Musk has this fabulous vision of what the country can be like, and he's right, too. But these crazy lefties don't want it. They do not like America. And
those same anti-American ideas are taking root on America's college campuses. We've seen universities funnel billions of dollars into DEI spending, leftist gender ideology, men on women's sports teams, and, of course, the anti-Semitism issue. And guess what? The only person holding these universities accountable is the man himself, Donald Trump.
Right.
His administration is forcing these universities to take accountability by cutting their federal funding, and it's great to see.
You know, I want to follow up. I'm coming to you, DeRoy. Hang on a second. Believe me. Good story in the paper today. Have the administration, and I think this will run through the education department, but whatever. The Trump administration is absolutely telling Columbia University, which may be the worst of the worst, all right, maybe tied with Penn, but whatever. We'll leave that aside for a minute. On a number of issues with these Middle Eastern departments and these Asian departments, and that's where the troublemakers are. They're really tying their hands and going deep on this. Otherwise, they're going to have to kiss away the $400 million, and there may be another $400 or $500 million they're going to lose after that, or they may lose everything that they have. What do you know about that? Columbia, you know, in this article, they don't really want to do it. Columbia doesn't really want to do it. These corporate boards of these Ivy League colleges are still, after all this, resisting any DEI changes or anti-Semitism.
They absolutely are. And we have seen the Trump administration. First, it was $400 million in grants that they canceled for Columbia University after their inaction with the anti-Semitism issue. Now we've seen an additional $30 million cancellation in grants at Columbia University. Also, UPenn, another great case study. We saw breaking news today that the Trump administration paused $175 million to UPenn over the trans sports issue. So, we are seeing real changes take root thanks to the Trump administration.
Well, look, they know they're going to lose their shirts. DeRoy, I want to tax them. I'm not a taxer. You know that. My whole life. I've never met a tax cut. I've never met a tax cut I didn't like. I never met a tax that I liked. But in this case, there's probably going to be in the one big beautiful reconciliation bill a tax on $1 billion or more elite universities because it's the only language they understand. Sheer dollars and cents, right? They don't know anything about value. It's going to be in there, and it's going to be worth a fair amount of money. It could pay up to $400-500 billion for other tax cuts, DeRoy.
Yeah, these are enormous endowments, tens of billions of dollars. I think Harvard's around 35 or 40. And they've got all this money. They've got the 501c3 status, and they don't pay any tax on any of this. They rake in all this money from alumni, from corporations, from other foundations, pay no tax on it. And if they continue to behave this way, again, with all the transgender stuff and the DEI stuff and all of that, and not just arguments, but violence. I mean, you saw at Columbia University, they didn't just have peaceful protests against Israel and for Hamas, et cetera. You had people breaking into Hamilton Hall, crashing through the glass, like you always say, January 6th, these people broke into the U.S. Capitol.
Private property. Why weren't they in jail? They should have been thrown in jail.
They should have been. I mean, finally, somebody got expelled a couple days ago, but they physically broke in and then held a couple of janitors hostage, which is kidnapping. And yet these folks had a nice time over the summer. They walked off, and I think some of them got in trouble finally, but it took about 10 months before these people saw any kind of justice. So you see that kind of atmosphere, and that kind of will fuel exactly what you're talking about, is taxation on these massive universities.
Emily Sturge, give me 25 seconds. What has to be done here?
The Trump administration needs to hold these universities accountable, and they're doing exactly that by cutting their federal funding. The only way these universities are going to respond
I got no for it. We don't have time for it. the boards who run these universities, the corporate boards, they run it, and they are the worst, okay? The bigger the school, the more elite the school. I don't want to mention any more names, but some of us went to these schools. The boards are the villains. Throw them out. Anyway, Emily Sturge and Roy Murdoch, thanks very much.
See you.
All right, folks, coming right up, more.